Have you ever stopped to think about how a single idea, a single moment of aha can completely change the world? Consider this. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you do today has been shaped by a scientific discovery. It's a story of curiosity, of persistence, and of looking at the world and asking why. Today we're going to count down 10 of the most world-changing scientific discoveries of all time. Let's start our journey in 1928, in a slightly messy laboratory in London. Scientist Alexander Fleming returned from a holiday to find something peculiar. On a petri dish he'd accidentally left out, a fuzzy blue-green mold was growing. All around that mold, the nasty Staphylococcus bacteria he'd been studying were gone. Instead of just tossing the contaminated dish, Fleming's curiosity took over. He identified the mold as a strain of penicillin, and discovered it was producing a substance that could kill a wide range of harmful bacteria. It was the world's first true antibiotic, a weapon against infections that had plagued humanity for millennia. By World War II, penicillin was being used to treat wounded soldiers, dramatically reducing deaths from infected wounds. Penicillin didn't just save millions of lives, it revolutionized medicine, opening the door to modern surgery, organ transplants, and chemotherapy. It all started with a bit of mold and a whole lot of scientific curiosity. Imagine trying to share this video with a friend 50 years ago. You'd have to physically mail them a film reel. Now you can send it across the globe in seconds. It started with a US military project in the 1960s called ARPANET. Goal: a decentralized network that could survive a major attack. Pioneers like Vinton Cerf and Bob Kahn developed TCP/IP, the postal service for networks. Then, in the 1990s, Tim Berners-Lee at CERN invented the World Wide Web. HTML, URLs and HTTP. Most important, hyperlinks. Jump between pieces of information. Mosaic made the web public. The internet transformed communication. Email, social media, e-commerce, search engines, and online encyclopedias. It connected humanity like science fiction. What changed? The internet, a network of networks that reshaped how we share and learn, and it's still evolving. Look around you. The lights, the screen you're watching this on, the refrigerator keeping your food cold, all powered by a force we often take for granted: electricity. Scientists like Benjamin Franklin proved lightning was a form of electricity. Alessandro Volta made the first battery. Michael Faraday discovered electromagnetic induction, the principle behind generators. We could convert mechanical energy into electrical energy on a massive scale, building power plants and distribution grids. Inventors like Thomas Edison developed commercially viable bulbs and the infrastructure to light cities. Factories ran 24 hours. In homes, labor-saving devices transformed daily life. Every piece of modern tech, even supercomputers, is built on controlling the flow of electrons. It is quite literally the power that runs our world. So what makes you, well, you? Why do you have your mother's eyes or your father's smile? The answer lies in one of the most elegant molecules: deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA. Rosalind Franklin provided a crucial piece of evidence, photo 51, using X-ray crystallography. That photo showed the helix and gave precise measurements scientists needed. In 1953, Watson and Crick described the double helix, a twisted ladder. The rungs were 4 bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, a pairs with T and C pairs with G. The helix can unzip so each strand templates a copy. Understanding DNA unlocked molecular biology, DNA fingerprinting, and the ability to read and rewrite the code of life. The sequence of A, T, C, and G is a code, instructions for building an organism. Smallpox. For centuries it was one of humanity's greatest scourges. But today, smallpox is gone, completely eradicated from the planet. Edward Jenner observed that milkmaids exposed to cowpox rarely contracted deadly smallpox. In 1796 he took pus from a cowpox sore and inserted it into an 8-year-old boy, who later proved immune to smallpox. Jenner found a way to train the immune system to fight a deadly invader without suffering the disease. Scientists like Pasteur expanded the idea: vaccines for rabies, polio, measles, tetanus. Vaccines have saved more lives than any other medical intervention. The eradication of smallpox stands as one of science's greatest triumphs. Preventing disease is even better than curing it. For over 200 years, our understanding was governed by Isaac Newton. Gravity was a simple force. Space was a fixed stage. Time, a universal clock. In 1905, Albert Einstein published his theory of special relativity. 2 simple ideas. The laws of physics are the same for everyone, and the speed of light is constant. Consequences were bizarre. Space and time are not absolute. Gravity is curvature of space-time, like a bowling ball on a trampoline. Objects follow curves in space-time. That's why planets orbit. The theory predicted light bending during eclipses, later confirmed. It predicted black holes and gravitational waves. Gravitational waves were eventually detected, confirming Einstein. Relativity works behind the scenes. GPS must account for relativistic effects to be accurate. It reshaped our understanding of the universe, stranger and more wonderful than we imagined. Before the late 19th century, hospitals were dangerous. Doctors might come straight from an autopsy without washing, surgical instruments were wiped on coats. The cause of infection was a mystery. Louis Pasteur, studying why wine spoiled, found microscopic organisms, yeast and bacteria, and proposed the germ theory of disease. If microbes spoiled wine, could they spoil the human body? Pasteur and Koch proved it. Koch identified anthrax, tuberculosis, cholera, growing bacteria in pure culture to prove causation. Germ theory sparked hygiene, hand-washing, sterilization, and antiseptic surgery championed by Joseph Lister. Modern antiseptic techniques in sanitation, clean water, and sewage treatment drastically reduce disease. We pasteurize milk, wash our hands, and cover coughs because of the invisible world of pathogens. Imagine a world without books, where each was copied by hand over months or years. Knowledge was a luxury, accessible only to a tiny elite. Around 1440, Johannes Gutenberg combined movable metal type with a screw press. Letters could be rearranged, inked, and pressed onto paper, printing pages rapidly and cheaply. The Gutenberg Bible was a sensation. Suddenly, books could be produced in quantity. Printing democratized knowledge, boosted literacy, and fueled the Renaissance and Reformation. Scientific discoveries, theories, and data could be shared accurately. Scholars could build on each other's work. It was the internet of its day, an engine for social and scientific change. Information was no longer chained to monasteries, it belonged to everyone. For thousands of years, the story of life's origins was a matter of faith and philosophy. The incredible diversity of life, from the smallest insect to the largest whale, was seen as fixed. In the 19th century, Charles Darwin, aboard the HMS Beagle, spent 5 years circumnavigating the globe. On the Galapagos, he observed finches with different beaks adapted to island food sources. Darwin proposed descent with modification, natural selection, variation, struggle, and differential survival. Those with advantageous traits, camouflage, speed, efficient beaks, are more likely to survive and reproduce. Over vast time, natural selection causes populations to change and can lead to new species. Published in 1859, Darwin's book was controversial but became the unifying principle of biology. It explained the diversity and interconnectedness of life on Earth. And there you have it. 10 discoveries that literally reshaped our world and our understanding of our place in the universe. From a speck of mold to the fabric of space-time, the story of science is the story of human curiosity. Observe, question, test, share. So, which discovery blew your mind the most? Drop your guesses in the comments below. If you love exploring science, hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss a thing. Next time we're diving into the weird and wonderful world of quantum mechanics. See you then!